Brazil.
Brazil. Cool.
Yeah. Community coffee. I bought a big old bag from Sam's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Man, the CrossFit event was supposed to be over at 11.
I
Went an hour over.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
Let me shake your hand.
after that, I went to go visit my brother. He was out for his birthday. So I got home.
That's his vehicle, right?
No, that's mine.
That's yours. That's right.
Yeah, I had it out there. I got my car fixed, and they brought it back for me.
Good.
Yeah. The top wouldn't go down, it would just get stuck.
Really?
Yeah. And it really sucks because I just spent some money on him fixing a part, and I don't know if it was something that I really needed to spend.
Yeah.
Because I spent money on a part, but then later it still started doing the same thing. But at least I guess whenever I spent money on the part, it wouldn't move at all. So the part, I guess, did help it.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. It don't matter. Oh. So yeah.
Where the flip my book? I got it. I brought that. That book is, dude. I'll lend it to you. I need to lend it to you.
I bought one for myself.
You did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Look at all this.
Dang!
Yeah,
Oh my
bro.
gosh.
I'm not playing around.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Like, if we want to talk about something, I can literally just say, "Whew, let me see what I was thinking on this part." Yeah.
You might have a lot of answers right now.
I have a lot of answers. Well, yeah.
Some of that stuff, are you recalling some of the stuff from the podcast in that book?
Yes, but this is way better.
It's way more in depth.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And this has been. I need to do this. That's why I brought it. I'll do it before I leave,
Okay.
or in a moment. This isn't gonna take, but a minute.
Go ahead.
Power of, actually, it's the power of a mantra.
Go ahead, man.
So we're about to kind of do a mantra. So about to meditate. You been doing okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've been doing great. Just it's been weird. My intentionality towards sleep has really just kind of slowed everything down. And,
That's not that thing.
even people, my HR manager said, "Oh, you seem more relaxed."
Good. Good.
I don't want it to be mistaken, and I won't let it be, because I was thinking about the words of my friend Stephen Tran,
Mm-hmm.
and I want those words to be at the forefront. And they're hungry, hustle, and humble.
3 H's. Hungry, hustle, and humble. I love it.
Honestly. I was thinking of a logo too, and I'm gonna make a shirt maybe for FitFam
Yeah.
or something where it says "Stay woke."
Stay
it has
woke,
like
baby.
the W,
Uh-huh.
and it says "Stay woke" down here at the bottom somehow. But then the W has like 3 H's at the top. Somehow, I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah.
It'll happen. Alright, I want to be done with this in just a second.
Read it.
Alright, I can read it out loud actually if you
Yeah.
want. Anyone who has taken a yoga class or has been exposed to Hindu or Buddhist thought has probably heard of the concept of a mantra. In Sanskrit, it means sacred utterance. Essentially a word, it's ironic that we're doing this when we're about to meditate. A word, a phrase, a thought, even a sound, intended to provide clarity or spiritual guidance. A mantra can be especially helpful in the meditative process because it allows us to block out everything else while we focus. It's fitting then that Marcus Aurelius would suggest this Stoic mantra, a reminder or watch face to use when we feel false impressions, distractions, or the crush of everyday life upon us. It says essentially, I have the power within me to keep that out. I can see the truth. Change the wording as you like. That part is up to you, but have a mantra and use it to find the clarity you crave. So Marcus at the top says, Erase the false impressions from your mind by constantly saying to yourself, I have it in my soul to keep out any evil, desire, or any kind of disturbance. Instead, seeing the true nature of all of things, I will give them only their due. Always remember this power that nature gave you.
Which is, the power is what?
It's the power to control what you're going to think about.
Okay.
I have it in my soul to keep out any evil, desire of any kind of disturbance. Instead, seeing the true nature of things, I will give them only their due. Oh, at the top it says erase the false impressions from your mind by constantly saying to yourself, oh, okay. I don't know. Marcus Aurelius journaled frequently, so.
Yeah.
I guess knowing that we have the power to, that's one that made, like how you read and you need to reread, like, the higher the faith, the higher the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of one of those where you have to digest it. But the mantra part, you know, that's literally one word or a phrase or a thought or a picture or something that you're able to focus on to keep all the distractions out. So his was like a paragraph. Keep.
I've never done the mantra meditation.
I have not either.
Because, dude, lately, I feel messed up when I meditate because my mind's everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah. I feel like before I was able to focus and just focus on my breath for 70% of the time. And now I feel like my mind is all over the place 70% of the time.
Oh. You're meditating for how long? 10, 15 minutes?
Just
Wow.
3 to 10 minutes,
3 to 10
depending
minutes.
on a fit fan day. I get it in before.
Good. It's
Along
hard
with my
sometimes,
pre-workout.
man. Yeah. You still taking it?
I have a little bit left. I bought another one when I was at Sam's also.
Good.
Just,
Cool. Just
I
a
don't
pre-workout.
know, muscle
general.
tech something.
Yeah. Probably like, who knows? I can't remember what they call the muscle type ones. It might even just say pre-workout on it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I need to start looking into the Earth muscle.
Sure.
That group.
Yeah, I think they've got a ton of supplements from what I saw.
Yeah.
Send them, tell them since they're sponsoring, tell them that they're a packet of a pre-workout or something anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I get some samples for everybody. We'll try the pre-workout.
It's probably gonna be clean, you know?
They've been in contact just here and there. The owner probably end up meeting him one day.
Good.
But he asked, how's everything? And I told him, great. And one of the things I wanted to do last year, if we could figure it out, is do some kind of metrics-based competition or training.
Ooh, yeah.
Grow our group by the numbers.
Yes.
Not by the amount of people, but how our numbers grow us. Like how we grow ourselves
We
objectively.
need to rate, yeah, like how have we done since a month ago or 2 months ago? How's our time
Because
getting?
we don't do like CrossFit. We don't have PRs, for deadlift, squat, bench. So what do we have?
Time record or
And we've never done that one that we were gonna do out there at
I
Strawberry
know.
Stadium.
we were on point, we were going to do it and
Yeah.
that dude came out and hollered at us. So,
I saw a coach too. He said we could. He came to the restaurant.
did he?
Friday night.
Self-food? Yeah,
He said we could use it anytime.
Good. He's not worried about it, is he? Just that nice man.
Yeah, just a nice man.
Yeah. Cool. So it's hard. Your thoughts? Why do you feel like? Why do you feel like you're thinking too much?
I think because whenever I coach meditation, and I try not to talk about it too much. I realized for a while I started talking about it too much as like the answer to everything. Yeah. Because when I read on meditation in a couple different books, you're really not supposed to talk about it and put it on people. I guess because if you do it that way without people really being at any point on the receiving end, they just don't understand. And it might kind of push you away from people more than anything. So I've been trying to stop talking about it. But whenever I do, I tell people about how it brings out your subconscious, which it does.
Yes.
The only problem is when it brings out your subconscious, you desire to want to lean into those thoughts
Yes.
because it's not natural. You know, when you're going through the day, it's reactive thoughts.
That's right.
So it's a different kind of thought.
Yeah.
So it's when I wake up in the morning, I'm kind of excited. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
let me see what I can get.
Yeah. What kind of thoughts are gonna come out?
And then I kind of slowly train myself to try to fish for thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're fishing for certain thoughts, or?
I'm just trying to see what comes up, but then that's where I kind of got away from the true meditation side of things.
To not have any thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that too recently. Maybe it's more reflective, you know? I'll sit down and do my 10 minutes before work, and sometimes the first 5 minutes can be the hardest. Do you notice that it goes by really fast?
Yes. Yes, it's going by faster now. It was really weird too yesterday. I had kind of a weird morning. It was just a slow morning or no sleep morning. Actually, I know what it was. I woke up and I remember 2 dreams, and they were both freaking weird.
Dream, yeah.
I mean, they were weird. One was like Jack Ryan. We've been watching Jack Ryan. And,
That's awesome.
yeah, I like watched some kid like do something crazy. You know, like all the crazy stuff they do, and I was in that. I was in the scene. So when I woke up, like as soon as the final moment happened, my alarm clock went off, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's badass, dude.
It was weird. It was kind of spooky.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've been having dreams in the morning, like before I wake up.
Were you the one that told me you've been remembering all your dreams?
Yeah, well, one of them was pretty badass because kind of like with you with Jack Ryan, I had one and it was about Joe Burrow. It was definitely like, it was good
Uh-huh.
because I was like the second string quarterback. It was pretty cool. He was behind the bar fixing a drink. This was after they won the national championship. And he was like doing a mock drink or something. And I looked over, I don't know, I guess I had this feeling like I was great, you know, I'm really good at what I do or something. And then the dude was like, he looked at me and he kind of gave me that cocky ass look, and he was like, yeah, you're not as good as me, you know? So I was like, oh shit, I guess I can get better. It was just like an awakening. That's not the That's not the whole story, because I should have written it down, but I did not. But what were you saying?
What if it was you on the other side telling you that you're not as good as you think you are?
Yeah.
You know?
What
if that person was your limiting thoughts?
You're right.
You know, the fear side of you telling you you're not ready, which is a side that we all tell ourselves.
Right.
You know, I've been battling with that for a long time.
Yeah.
Sometimes wonder how I got to where I am.
Yeah.
You know, and how I'm the one to do this job. You know, to lead the team. How am I the one to be on the foundation board where there's many people who are, you know, whether it's knowledge, wisdom, or financial resources. Man, some of those people.
There's some,
yeah, there's some very strong, not powerful in the sense of power in use of, you know, leverage, which is very admirable people. People that have been there, done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah. Experience. That's my focus. That's my focus this year.
Good.
It's abundance. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my mantra, my theme word is abundance. My son's is focus.
All right.
Focus.
All right.
I need to show you that video. And he's walking around and said, you know, my favorite word is that focus.
Really? That's awesome. Your son's intelligent, man. Or all kids say really cool things.
Yeah.
You just have to listen.
But it's
Focus.
abundance.
Focus, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Your abundance.
Right. There was one time whenever I was talking to, it was Gasser. It was out of the porch, and
Brad or Grace?
Miss Grace, and my voice was elevated because I was passionate about the discussion and just saying, things that we do with the restaurant that people don't know about and what I'm passionate about. And then by the end, she said, you know what? She said, one day you're going to change the community. And I said, oh, excuse me. And when I said that, I said, wait, you know what? I said, you're right. I said, I am. But I caught myself in a limiting thought. And then I was at a Christmas event, Christmas social, and then someone said to me, you would be great at giving commencement. It's actually in a meeting. And,
Bro.
and then I said, no, and then I left it at that. And I didn't say anything. And I noticed I have this pattern of doubting myself. And there we go, back to higher the faith, higher the doubt.
Yeah.
So it's all about just development, and that's what it is. And I was thinking about that today, and like the people around where I was last night, whether it was basically a Christmas party or a company event, and then I went out and it was like everybody just indulging in like all of everything, and it's neat. Just looking at everything, and I was like, man, why do I do so much deep work? I was thinking about that this morning, just when I was walking around the house.
Yeah.
Just coming from just where I was, the two different social spaces. And I was like, it's not normal. But yeah, that was just a thought that was going in my head this morning.
Yeah. I find the same. I find people look at me funny when I talk to them, like, at work. No, they really do.
People look at me funny.
People think that I'm, like, loopy, maybe. I don't know. Screw it. I'm being myself. I was at work a couple days ago, and I just, what did I just watch, or what did I just do? I've been reading this, right? This book is so deep, man. It's so eye-opening and amazing. But, I was talking to a coworker, and, he was saying something about the day, and he was like, it was like this. It's kind of dreary looking. But I said, you have to go through the darkness to see the light. And he's like, whoa, man, you get a little deep there. I'm like, well.
But you didn't have to think about it.
No, it just literally came out. I didn't, and I'm finding myself doing that a lot. Like, just, I kind of know it, or I see it, or it's because I've been just soaking my head full of knowledge, like reading every day, and I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm like on a quest for greatness, man.
That's my quest for the year is abundance, and my slogan for it is be ready to receive the gift.
Amen. Good. Be ready.
So
You better be ready, bro.
as the readings, as the learning comes up, as I guess the mantra that came up naturally, I thought about that. When we were doing side grills, I was thinking about just getting in the right headspace, and then my head went to my friend Stephen Tran.
Yeah, y'all had that workout over his birthday? Was it his birthday? Yeah.
And I thought about him, and those three words
Stephen,
came up:
man. He's
hungry, humble,
Good.
hustle, and then I had to keep going. And I'm constantly thinking about abundance and being ready to receive the gift, and it comes up, throughout the month, and just looking at the process of what it's going to take to achieve that, but how to make it tangible, how to not just go through the year. That's what I want to figure out too, because we can't see ourselves, Ray Dalio says, objectively. So if I only see things the way that I think, and Joe talks about that too, we only see things the way we see it, not as they are.
Right.
So I'm thinking about the points or the KPIs, if we were looking at OKRs,
Yeah.
of what's going to move me to that goal. Not just faith,
Correct.
because another thing that came up too, Ryan Barker, I went to his vision meeting for the year for Chapapia.
Yeah.
And he talked about vision being the way you think about and plan imagination, knowledge, and wisdom. Something along those lines. But the thing that struck to me is knowledge and wisdom. And I look at what we acquire, and it's a lot of knowledge. What everybody acquires is knowledge. But Jim Quick says what? Knowledge is not power, it's only potential power. It's power if you use it. One of the things that we say is, it's not what you know, it's what you repeatedly do. So I'm looking at a journey to wisdom, from knowledge to wisdom, and it's defining the system, or what are the things that we need to know, what are the metrics, how do we grow objectively to go from knowledge to wisdom? Because if not, it's just knowledge, and we're just sitting here at the core of what we absorb. But do we really absorb it?
Right. Do you actually retain what you're learning?
Yeah, I've never had the chance to share that with anybody, but that's one of the things I've been thinking about since that meeting was knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
What's the difference and how to go from one to the other if they were any different.
The analytical part would me let me actually look up wisdom and figure out the vocabulary. But I remember just to share with you about wisdom, I remember being a kid and praying for wisdom. I really did. Like, if there was any gift I would have asked God for, and I remember like specifically praying about it, I said, God, I'd like for you to give me wisdom. I think I do have wisdom. Not only just the knowledge aspect of it, but as I've grown through my experiences and what I've seen in my life, especially at my age, if I can sit down with a person who's 60 or 70 and start talking to them and probably understand or have a little more empathy with them, or because of my childhood, it gave me wisdom. Right?
Right.
So, I don't know. I want to get better with it, but yeah, I think I was somewhat blessed with wisdom because of the experience. But I don't know, like you said, the metrics though, how did I get there and how do you get there? And is it a spiritual thing? Is wisdom a spiritual thing? What is it? We need to look that up.
I'll write it. Knowledge.
Is it emotional IQ? What is it?
I do have that book back there if we want to read that at some point.
Okay.
It's self and social awareness. So it's inwards, outwards. And there's a couple things about the self and a couple things about outwards.
Yeah.
Have you seen the framework for it?
I haven't. No. We can look at it later. Does that make sense though? I'm not overthinking it.
No. That's I think in its truest form is wisdom is experience. Yes. But how would you say your experience? Everybody has their own experience.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you turn your experience into wisdom, where a lot of people would just have their experience and not turn it into wisdom?
Right.
Without saying it in a simple way. Because the guy that grew up in New Orleans and moved to Hammond, he had his experience also.
But did he gain any wisdom from that experience?
Right. So,
did you turn that experience into something that was going to help you understand things better? I guess that would be a simplistic version of what wisdom would be.
So wisdom, your experience. Okay.
We're on to something there.
So your experience.
What did I gain from that experience? Did I learn from it? Did I become a better person because of it? What kind of value did I gain from the experience?
What you gained is direction from your experience. So that's the difference, because if you look at, you know, just 5 peers all going through different experience, and what is the direction? But if their current direction is not the way we perceive things should be, does that mean that they don't have wisdom? Or is it just the way that we see things? Or is it actual that they didn't gain any wisdom from their experience? Maybe. But then you can't tell people that.
No, you can't. You didn't gain any wisdom from that.
Who would care anyway?
No. People, like you were saying, you notice the social structure, and you notice that people indulge shortly after. Yeah, it's hard to have it's hard to. It takes work to understand yourself. A lot of people don't want to do that. Right? You work 9 to 5, and you don't want to work anymore.
Right.
So.
I think that's really interesting, though, that Ronnie Renatza brought that up too.
Not some more?
Oh, dude.
I mean, I brought that too, so. Ronnie Renatza?
Yeah, he said, man, I get it. He said, so what you do is, when you're not working, you look at what more you can do, and when I'm not working, I look at what less I can do. But then you just said that too, because people, on their 9 to 5, they don't want to do anything outside of that. But then our gears are turning, but they're turning in a way to where it's not overbearing, to where it's not work. It becomes part of self, part of the routine, part of the ritual. Yes, it's discipline. Actually, Jeff Day said that word the other day about, you know, it's been fun listening to other people and let them kind of tell you about yourself. And he said, that's what you have. You have a very high level of discipline, but I don't need that, you know, because I think I'm lucky. I think I'm fortunate. I think, you know, I grew up in my family, and, you know, we had it. The way I see things is we grew up well. I wouldn't say easy. I wouldn't say the hard way either. So for somebody to say that, and for me to acknowledge I have such strong discipline, I don't know. I guess if I peel the onion, it would go back to my father. You know, it was. It was. I guess it's not the way that you think of the word discipline as somebody who grew up structured.
Right.
And I guess that view of discipline is not the way that it actually was.
It's kind of like consequence. The word consequence is not a bad word, and there's no negative. There's a negative connotation towards it, but it's not. Just like discipline, you know. But like Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom, you know. So.
And that's what we have. You know, a lot of people look at the day or walk out in the weather, whether it's hot or cold, and associate with that and state that, and they become that. Or we walk in the day and just kind of are guided in the direction of our thoughts, and they can move with the weather. It's kind of like that. There's that story about the bulls, about what happened whenever it rains. I have to share this with you.
Okay.
And it's kind of like when the rain's coming. I think the cows, they you ever heard this?
Probably.
Yeah. So when it rains, I don't know if it's religious or what. What? The cows, the cows they walk in it, right? They walk against it. But
Really?
then the bulls, what they do is they turn and they run with it.
Really?
And yeah, and then they go